Here's how I went from making the worst decision of my life by retiring to embracing it and starting to live my best life. I'm Melinda. I retired from public education after 30 years. I unretired, went back to public education, retired again, and almost unretired again. This time I stayed, and here's my reflection after 30 days of officially allowing myself to be in retirement. If you know me and you've watched my videos, you know I love lists. So I have 14 things. I've just spent the last hour trying to come up with the 15th because you're not supposed to have an even number in a list. For whatever reason, I've read that somewhere. So I'm just going to stick with 14 and quit stressing myself out to try to come up with one more thing. But number one is I think I'm finally past the rebellious stage of being in public education and having your life scrutinized to being able to do whatever I want. I originally thought it was going to be really rebellious of me to wear a swear word shirt. I had like a Kid Rock shirt that had like a bad word on it, and it just wasn't worth it when I wore it. I felt self-conscious, and that was just dumb. It was just a way to rebel against not being able to be on social media all of these years, not being able to be seen buying alcohol at the grocery store. I think that might be like a Bible Belt thing, or just in my area, the way teachers live and think that you can't be seen buying alcohol, and feeling like I can post on social media what I'm doing in my life and not feel like it's going to come back to bite me in my profession. My next reflection is that I've not done any of the projects that I said that I was going to do, and I don't feel bad about it. I think I've just grown up and felt guilty and maybe shamed about things my whole life. And when I haven't done the list that I created in my to-do list of all the things I was going to do over this last year, I'm letting it go. I was going to paint my bedroom furniture. I was going to paint the kitchen cabinets, and I was going to paint the deck. I need to redo my deck. And I've done none of those things, and I don't feel bad about it, and I'm just going to quit thinking about it. I spent days worrying about the projects that I didn't do, and I watched a video the other day about someone who's retired, and they gave themselves longer to complete a project than when they were working. For example, if I thought I could repaint my bedroom furniture in the weekend, why not give myself a week or 2 weeks? So I'm letting go of the guilt of not getting any of my tasks done. Over the past 30 days, I've learned that I love being at home. I've talked about my coffee addiction and drive-through coffee in a lot of these videos. I think that my drive-through coffee addiction was more about just getting out and feeling like I had to go be somewhere and come back and not just at home. And I've gone a couple of days not leaving the house, and I don't feel guilty about it. I think that my kids are disappointed that I'm home so much because they had their downtime after school when I was working, so it's been a little bit hard for them. But I love being here. I can go for a walk. I can sit in the quiet. I was going to clean the garage, but why clean the garage when I can record a video in the garage? Just like I said, avoiding all of the tasks that I'm supposed to be doing. I thought that I was going to be bored, but it turns out that I think that my boredom is avoidance and procrastination, and I'm not really bored. I think that I sit on the couch to avoid doing things or to procrastinate the pile of laundry on the couch across from me, but I'm not bored. That was something I was worried about, and I may be not doing things that are very productive, but I'm doing things, and I don't feel like it's boring to be retired anymore. I think I mentioned this just a minute ago, letting go of the guilt. I have 30 to 40 years of retirement left. It's only been 30 days, and I feel guilty about not getting things done. I've been able to let that go. I'm just not doing it, and there's no reason to stress about it or worry about it. If the kitchen cabinets don't get painted and my kitchen looks the same for the next 30 years, I mean, so be it. But I'm trying to let go of the guilt of all the things I shoulding on myself and all the things I should be doing in retirement. It's okay to set my alarm and not stay up late. There's a fantasy, a retirement fantasy of not having to have an alarm and being able to stay up all night or being able to nap or whatever it is. And I have found that I have to set my alarm. If I just feel completely unproductive if I lay in bed and scroll social media until 7 a.m. or whatever time it is. So I have been setting my alarm and I don't feel bad about it. That was something that, I had a lot of worries, as you'll get to know, or stresses about being retired, and overcoming worrying about what people think and doing retirement correctly is my biggest success right now. And it's okay to wake up to an alarm, and it's okay to still go to bed at 9 p.m. I actually do have a purpose. This channel and talking to you and the comments in the community that I have built feels like a purpose, and that I'm helping people. Liking this video or subscribing to this channel will help other people find this video and help them in their retirement or planning for retirement, I've found. So if you'll hit the like button or you'll subscribe if you want to know when I post again, that would be great. But that's helped my purpose. And substitute teaching, I feel, has helped me feel like I have a purpose as well. An example of that is there was a really hard student the other day that I thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to sub again because this child is making subbing really hard right now. And I just couldn't get them under control. They weren't so far off that I felt like I needed to call for help. They were just being inappropriate and just wouldn't stop. And I felt really bad for the other kids in the class because I could tell that they were just annoyed. They weren't bothered or upset or mad. It was just annoying. This child was annoying. Well, when I went substitute teaching yesterday, I had that student again. I looked at the roster. I looked all the way down to see, oh my gosh, do I have that student again? Do I have this other student again? How can I win the day? And I had her again, and she was really quiet. And I was kind of worried. I thought, okay, I'm glad that she's not crazy, but she's really quiet right now. My neighbors are out. I asked her, I'm like, are you okay? You're really quiet. I said, I like that you're quiet. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that, but you don't seem like you're okay. Are you okay? She said she was, and then she went to the office and went to talk to the counselor, and I feel like she maybe knew that I cared in that moment. It's way too hard to record when your neighbors are outside, therefore I came in the house. My next reflection is that it's easy not to shop when you're not around people that have all the new and latest things. When I was working, I wanted the latest and greatest office supply or decoration or thing for my office, or I wanted the holiday decor. I don't want things. When I was working and I'm around people and you're out and about, you want the things that other people have. That's the same thing that happens on social media. When you're scrolling social media, you want the things that you see on social media. Well, since I've given up a lot of the scrolling and following people that try to get me to buy things, I don't have that. And I'm at peace with not shopping and not wanting to buy things all the time, where I thought there's no way I can retire after I already retired because I can't afford my own self and my bad spending habits. And this month hasn't been that bad at all. I don't feel like I need all the things. I feel peaceful and I have my sense of humor back, because I'm not waiting for the next shoe to drop or the doomsday thinking. I feel like I'm at peace. The Lord tested me yesterday. Something did happen yesterday. Almost sent me back to the day of the doomsday thinking, but I feel more peaceful. I went to my former place of employment that I first retired from, the one that I was at for 19 years, and I went back for the homecoming parade. It was chaos and fun. It was a fun chaos, but the feeling of I'm not in charge of this. I don't have to boss these kids around, or that kid that just jumped on that other kid and threw a rock at this kid, I don't have to discipline. So I have that peace and I have a sense of humor. I could enjoy those kids that day because I wasn't in charge of them. I am able to live in the moment and not be thinking what's coming next. I can enjoy my kids. I can enjoy football games. I can enjoy going out with friends in the moment. I don't have to worry about if the Chiefs play on Sunday night, what it's going to be like going to work on Monday. Now, I did mess up and schedule myself to sub the Monday after the last Chiefs game. Lesson learned, I will not do that. I need to remember that if they ever play Thursday night football or Monday night football, I'm able to live in the moment and enjoy the kids when they're here, not hurrying up to the next thing, not hurrying them up to the next thing. I can live in the moment, and that's been amazing. I had to take a commercial break. I had to go out into the garage and get my Alani Witch's Brew. This is only in the fall. This is only a fall flavor, and it tastes just like caramel apples. It's so good. I don't make, this is not sponsored. I don't make anything off of this, but I love these. They're so good. They're really, really sweet. And I haven't been having like one every day, but they're so good. I think I have 4 more. I always lose track because I skip around on my list and I don't number it. And I probably shouldn't even say this and just go back while I'm editing and number them. I just find a flow and I get out of my flow. The next one is the morning routine. And I love mornings when I don't substitute teach. This morning I didn't substitute teach, so I could get up. I set my alarm, hit snooze 4 times probably, but it doesn't matter as long as I set my alarm and I know that there's a time I have to get up. I was able to come in the kitchen, make coffee, sit on the couch for a little bit, and just chill. I can add prayer and meditation to that eventually, but right now I just enjoy the moment of quiet. When I was working, I kept trying to get up earlier and earlier in order to enjoy my mornings more. And then I read this book. Oh my gosh, I read this book, The Miracle Morning, and a group of us were going to do the Miracle Morning, a group of us principals. And I don't even remember how mad I was after like 5 days of the Miracle Morning. I'm like, does this person that wrote this book not have kids and not have to be at a job and have to do laundry and whatever? I think maybe this is terrible. I'm gonna have to look this up. You guys can hate on me in the comments, but I'm like, I think he might have been bald, the guy that wrote the book. This doesn't take 5 minutes. Like I spend forever doing my hair. Now that's my choice, but I love mornings and I love a slow morning, and I've loved that in retirement. And next, I've loved lunchtime. I might have talked about this before, but lunchtime, I can actually prepare a lunch. Sometimes I just warm up something that's in a Tupperware, but other times, like if I have chicken, I can make a fajita, I can make a quesadilla, I can fix something, and then I can sit down on the couch and chew it, like chew my food, not have to just swallow it whole because I have lunch duty. And I watch either the Pat McAfee show, I love that show, and Game Day, I watch Game Day, or one of the 3 soap operas. I think there's 3 soap operas left. Back when I was growing up in college, we scheduled our classes around soap operas. Now the only ones left that I see on TV is General Hospital, Young and the Restless, and The Bold and the Beautiful. And if you watch those, if you turn it on now and you haven't watched it in 20 years, it's the same characters and the same storyline. You will figure it out within 2 to 3 episodes. I maybe watch them once every couple of weeks. There for a while, I think I was doing the avoiding and procrastinating, and I was watching all of them. Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital. I have not been doing that lately. So that habit has gotten a little bit better in these last few weeks of retirement. I think this is 14. I'm not counting and keeping very good track. I love cooking and I hate meal planning. I think if I were retired with no kids in the house, meal planning and cooking would both be great. Trying to meal plan for a 16-year-old, and then my daughter that went off to college will come home once or twice a week and bring her boyfriend. Figuring out what I want to cook on those days stresses me out. And I've tried a couple of things, and then I've resorted back to just my main things that I always do that they seem to like. I love cooking, and this summer, a friend of mine taught me so much about cooking, and I learned how to grill, and I made tons of steak this summer. I haven't really done that lately, but I love cooking and trying new things. When I was growing up, I got in trouble for ruining stuff that I was cooking all the time because my dad said that was waste of money and food. So I never got a second chance with my recipes. And now I get a second chance. So if I mess it up, then I can do it again and make the corrections that I knew I needed to make. I make stuffed pepper bowls where I don't stuff the actual pepper. I just mix all of it up in the skillet and then serve it over rice and put it in a bowl. I don't have a stuffed pepper, the actual thing. Well, it took me 3 or 4 tries to figure that out, and I felt like I could do that. So I love cooking. I hate meal planning. And my very last reflection of 30 days of being officially retired or allowing myself to be retired is that the mental part of retirement is so much more difficult than the money. I think that people who have investments and worrying about the stock market might be a thing, and they have that money worry. I don't have the money worry as much now that I've paid off all my credit cards. It's the mental stuff that happened whenever I retired, and I feel like I'm getting all of those things under control. I wish someone had talked about these things or had found the retirement channels that I've been watching lately before I retired so I knew more of what to expect. I just thought when you got to year 30, you just retired. I didn't think anything past that, nor did I realize if I live to be 85, I have 30 more years, which is phenomenal. Therefore, I'm going to keep recording these videos and sharing, even if I have to change the number of videos I make in a week. Stay tuned for what my month budget turned out like.